What's up, everybody? So, I've probably made this video maybe like 3 times and I have to delete it. So now I'm making it again and I'm actually just so, uh, what's the word? I am so enamored by this project that I've been working on. And I want to share with you this, and hopefully you'll watch this before you get a BBL or any plastic surgery, or maybe you just watch this and it changes how you view aesthetics, how you view fitness bods. My name is Evan Watkins, by the way. I used to be a OnlyFans management guy, influencer guy, work with many different models, one of those fitness guys, and then now I'm going to school to be a plastic surgeon. And I can't help but to think like all the BBLs, all the bodies that we look at, we're like, why does this look so bad? Why is this BBL so bad? Like, what did they communicate to the surgeon? What did they communicate to themselves? What did they see to get this body? Where did they go to get it? We have all these questions, but I think it's important that we start from a place of aesthetics and understanding aesthetics. So I kind of invented the TG proportion score. Uh, and this is like really important. To how we view the body. But I'm going to go ahead and read over it a little bit. I'm going to let you guys view this website. This website will be inside of the description below, and you guys can comment on this video. I just think that it's very important. This project I've been working on for the last 7 days, staying up till 4 a.m. in the morning. But let's just go ahead and dive in, and then maybe you guys will understand it a little bit more. So, TPS is a standardized framework for evaluating visible proportional harmony, the relationships between structures, not the size of any one of them. It pairs published anthropometric and aesthetic preference research with explicitly labeled TG developed scoring metrics, and it publishes the difference between the two. Now, this thing that I've made has tons of tongue twisters. It can get so tongue twisty, but I feel like we're gonna go to the beginning front page, and maybe we'll all understand this a little bit more. I want to make sure that I am recording this time because it was like one time I wasn't recording, one time the what was behind me didn't show up in the final product, so we have to make sure that we had all that done. So the study of proportion. TG Aesthetics is an education first brand examining how the human form is measured, compared, and understood, where anatomy, aesthetic research, and surgical science meet. We build the vocabulary, the reference standards, and the methodology for talking about proportion with rigor. And think of aesthetics as a field, not an opinion. I focus more on proportion, evidence, and anatomy. I'm not going to go too much into reading everything. I think it'll be nice if you guys go to this website, read it for yourself. But I will do a couple overviews. TG proportion system. TPS is our open methodology for evaluating proportional harmony with 6 weighted domains, 20 submeasures, and a confidence grade reported separately from the result. It's teaching framework built to be understood, critiqued, and extended. Like, it's built to be questioned. Like, I know that there's a lot of science. There's tons of people that are way smarter than me making research papers. There's tons of plastic surgeons out there, and I want to be able to pass this site to them, have them read it, and get notes on it. We make it better. Right now, we're at TPS 1.0. I hope to be at 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 2PS 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, keep on going and we'll make it better. So here are the 6 domains that we've come up with. Is the waist to hip contrast, the glute projection, glute shape, glute thigh transition, leg proportionality, and upper lower balance. They all have little terms that I hope that we'll all learn. And this is how I like to work with us. Like, you be a student, we're looking to learn, well, if we learn, collaborate, represent. I think mostly we would be able to teach our like methodology, but honestly, I really do want to learn. I want to keep on learning. Like, I this whole thing has taken over my day. So I've taken over my week actually. I've been just diving into this project all the way in. And I think it's super important. So the TG proportion score, um with the TPS 1.0 public methodology. The TPS is a standardized framework for evaluating visible proportional harmony, the relationships between structures, not the size of one of them. It pairs published anthropometric and aesthetic preference research with explicit label. TG develops scoring metric and publishes the difference between the two. I think I read that already, but I had to read it again. I'm practicing reading it too. Remember, like I said, a lot of this, me doing this, it was all very new. I put it together. I read a lot of research papers that I have also documented at the bottom here. You'll see it. We have a research foundation. Um, but this is executive definition, our principles, and why it's not a beauty score. It's not a desirability score. It's not a fitness score. It's not a age score or body size score, or it's not even a health assessment. It's not anything like that. It just has to do with aesthetics, and we're focused on what makes a good look. And we have different evidence classes. Like, well, I'll show you later on a couple examples of some TPS scorecards that I made with different evidence classes. Most of it has just been like B to C evidence classes where I'm taking information scraped off the internet, different images that models post, the ones that are very popular. So you get a lot of data from that, but it doesn't mean that it's a guarantee what we call a classified study where it's finding it has substantial or repeated empirical support that's relevant to TPS, like where we get shape, sizes, all types of different metrics to get that really confident score. That's why you call it confidence system in a way. So B is like published support exists. C is promising quantitative or aesthetic evidence exists, but needs a little bit more digging. And D is when the definition and stuff, and it's we're waiting the validation. It's like when we can't really grade anything. We have some core architecture that's like super important. Like I said, we have like the whip, waist to hip contrast, glute projection, glute shape, GTT, which is glute thigh transition, leg proportionality, ULB, very good stuff. We even got down to mathematics, and not everything is equally represented. Like for example, waist to hip contrast is 25%, and glute to thigh transition is 15%. And you'll see as you study this how we come up with these scores, and you'll understand why it's just not like simply built all the way through. uh like the seventh domain that would be think about is overall harmony, and it's not a separate score. We just don't really add that as a seventh domain. We like to look at everything and then calculate it all together. So here's some measurement vocabulary that I think will really help, like waist to hip ratio, waist to hip width ratio, waist to hip contrast, relative projection, projection vertical index, shoulder to hip width ratio, leg to body ratio, TG proportion score. Like I did so much studying of everything that mattered mathematically. Like when I was working on this project, I was thinking more on the level of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, how they took math, art, the measurements, the perfection, and they were just devout and they were obsessed with the work, and that's what I'm finding myself to be obsessed. So we have all the units and we break down every unit on this site. I really implore you to go on this site and check it out. Curvature concepts, projection vertical indexes, projection magnitude. It's so much information that I think that to make a long video, it would just bore you, and you end up clicking off. And I don't want to bore you. I just want you guys to kind of get a concept of what's out there. The tgaesthetics.com. You can go to it, check it out for free, and just look at all this information. I think that this will help before you make any choices to do like a BBL or any big plastic surgery. Also help you review where you're at with your own body and give you a little bit more of a mindset, like what your goals will what you want your goals to be, and add a little bit more mathematics, because everything is going to be ran off computers and math and science, and computers love math and science, and I want to get into the future where we literally can craft the perfect bodies that we see in our heads. We're not getting our bodies done and then coming up with a disdain for the body that we wanted. We want to be happy whenever we choose things, and I think this will help. Now, I'm not against this changing any bit at all. I actually want to get this into as many plastic surgeons' hands as possible. I want them to critique it vigorously. I want them to say, no, 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 I think this, that, this. But they got to come up with some really good evidence because I have a lot of evidence here and I want them to look it over. So, this is all of the these are universal scoring anchors. Like a 9.5 out of 10 is a reference exceptional. Essentially no meaningful departure from the defined reference morphology for the unit in the available evidence. A 10 must be rare. Like a 10 body is where the proportions are perfect, and that's so rare because humans are imperfect by nature, and I think that's the beauty of humans. And you'll see as we explain this, it's not necessarily. Remember, we're all talking about aesthetics here and mathematics, not talking about looks or characteristics. So I think we have 9.0s to 9.4. It's like elite. It's a very strong proportional performance with only minor deviation. This is when you get to people that are like hyper fit, on fitness, muscles, and they do everything to make their bodies really stand out. This body will stand out amongst all people. You will see it. It's very obtuse in proportions. Like 8.0s to 8.99, 8.99 is like strong. Clearly, it's a strong morphology, and I think a lot of people. This is a sweet spot for a lot of people. People like the 8 to 8.99s, and you'll see later on when I show you a couple examples. 7 feels good, above average harmony. A lot of people are sevens. This is very good. I honestly, anywhere from a 7 to 8, I think that a lot of people really like moderate, self restraints, clear proportion limitations. This is like when the person's moderate looking. I think a lot of people like this too. A lot of people don't go for like these high end nines and even eights. Like, they don't really want that in their life. They don't. That's not what they're going for, and you'll see. You'll see. So confidence grade, it's like we went through that. It's like measured grade, analysis grade, estimate grade, and non-scorable from A through D. Then watch that. We have a standard image protocol because we often judge off of pictures, and we want to make sure that it's known that we judge from pictures a lot, and that's why we have the confidence score. We can't take a model that or we find and do all our measurements and then grade are the same, or think of it as the same as a model that we just saw a picture of, and then we have to really like dive deep. Um, Factors that reduce confidence, like aggressive lumbar arching, hip popping, torso twisting, heels, compression garments. These are things that what we see in the picture. We're like, okay, we can't really analyze it perfectly. So we have the how we do the workflow. I advise you watching that. We have the what is this schema? I don't know. But we made one of these, and this is how we pretty much like a report card. This is how we grade everything, everybody. We have also non-negotiable interpretation rules, like we would never inflate a score, we'll never penalize muscularity or body fat or size in isolation. Like this is where I was trying to explain that this is about aesthetics and this is not about beauty. This is not a beauty tool. I hope that people don't use this as a beauty tool. I hope that people actually just use this to understand and communicate what they want for themselves and don't get caught up in numbers because numbers is all mathematical. One girlfriend is better than 10 girlfriends. You see what I'm saying? You like maybe two is better than one. Who knows? Depends on who you are. Most men can only handle one. So it's like we have to understand that numbers are not you're a 10, and we often get that. I was really making this because people were just like, oh, she's a 10. What's a 10? What is a 10? 10 beauty is subjective. What is a 10? So we have to make some kind of rules, but here's some research foundation. Like here's some published findings that informed us. This is how we came up with the methodology. I thought that everything was important, so you can look it up yourself whenever you get the chance. Version control maps, all kind of busy stuff. We have a lot of projects coming soon up here. Right? Like the index is where hopefully I'll have some of the best models, some of the most your favorite models, some of them everywhere and we'll have them on this site and really and you'll be able to look and kind of also like dictate what you want. You know what I'm saying? I think that's be very important. Some projects coming soon, you know, all types of stuff like that. I wanted to jump onto my Instagram. I hope you guys, when you watch this, you go follow my Instagram. I will be putting a lot of stuff up. So I'm gonna go into like the scorecard, our own, um, you know, people that we follow. Like it says TG proportion system, aesthetics, or BBL analysis. I know a lot of people don't have BBLs, but we do analyze BBLs. Is kind of what brought me into this is thinking about BBLs, and we are not plastic surgeons. Although I am in school to be a plastic surgeon, I am not a plastic surgeon right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Gracie Bond. This is one of the ones that we kind of started. I think that everyone's seen her on the internet. Very popular, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of how I kind of work this system with her. So TG Aesthetics, the TG Proportion System, overall result TPS 1.0 score. And she got an 8.41 out of 10. The classification very strong. A confidence level of a C, though. We did a lot of pictures and a lot of, you know, you just don't know quite what you're seeing, but this is what we came up with as far as we did all the analysis. You know, we use a lot of AI when working with images and understanding images and understanding approaches. So and we also have an explanation of everything that's on this side that I think you guys should check out. So here we go with six main score breakdowns. Like, if you look here, it had glute projection of 9.2. Like, that's where I see, like, if we have these different scores, like, sometimes people like an 8, but they're like, whoa, but, you know, these smaller domains, if they have high scores in that, you can really see it different, and you can almost look at this score and see the body, and I think that's very cool. I think that's super cool. Eventually, well, it'll be so ingrained into the culture of aesthetics, hopefully, that we'll all judge everybody, well, not everybody, all the ladies at least, off of this score. Okay, so then we move forward. We see TPS radar profile. Eventually, we'll be able to look at bodies and look at different, like this radar profile. But okay, this is what this would look like, or you know, I think computers have a really good way of learning this information like this, and computers are here to make our lives easier. AI is here to make our lives easier. Proportion assessment, you know, what we kind of exceptional visible waist to hip contrast. Like it gives a little bit more education into every model that you see, and this has a powerful visual impact as you see in the strengths and highlights of every model that we love to bring out and talk about. So then we had, you know, the final score was a TPS score of 8.41. Strong. You know, like I said, a lot of people like the eights. They like eights in their life, and I think that's like really cool. So let me give you like just one contrast one. So this is Sue Ellen Bizzolati. She's a fitness influencer. She's a power lifter. She's been working out for the last decade, and she has a very muscular frame. And a lot of people react to this frame one or two ways. Like either they are like, "Whoa, that's like way too much," and other people just love it. You go to her page, you see her comments. People love this physique. In Brazil, aesthetics is like one of the most important things. It's like one of the biggest things there. Most plastic surgery happens in Brazil. So she's Brazilian, by the way. She has an elite body with a 9.0 scale. Like, and then it's really because of muscle proportionality, I really believe. Like, this was a one-page scorecard that we made, and she was like really like one of our first. But you see, like, you know, with the waist to hip contrast, probably like the biggest thing. Glute projection was an 8.95, and I think that her score since then has gone up to 9.14. It's our new one. Glute shape is a 9.37. Now you see how like glute projection. Gracie Bond had way higher glute projection than this one did. So you know what I'm saying? It's just like very very different key metrics, and like I said, this was a confidence level of B though. If we had a lot of information to go off, I hope to get this confidence level to an A with her. We've reached out, but you know it's so hard to get in touch with models, and you know, yeah, so this is like the idea, and we have a lot of stuff on this page. I hope you guys follow it. You'll learn it. You'll learn our evaluation scale, all that type of jazz. So that's pretty much the overview of the TG proportional system. I hope that you guys check it out. I hope that you guys, Tell me what you think about it. I hope that you guys get your TPS score. I hope that you guys flaunt your TPS score. I hope that you tell everybody, oh, I'm an 8.2. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm a 7.7. I mean, I think that especially nowadays, we have a visual world, and it's 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 starting to become a the way we look at women and bodies. We're looking at it, I think, in the wrong way. We need to approach it in a scientific and mathematical, aesthetic way, the beauty of aesthetics, because beauty is subjective. But when we get into the beauty of aesthetics, we truly know the truth, we know who we are, and we know what we want. And I think that this is just it's one of the coolest things ever. So I hope you guys check this out. I hope you guys follow, subscribe. I know you probably see the shades. You're like, why? It's like because when I have a light on, it like really, I don't want my eyes to like hurt. So I pretty much keep shades on. But you can get to know me. I'm not scared to show my eyes, just very bright. And I hope that we only make this system better. I think that this is one of my most endearing projects I think I've ever worked on. I'm beyond excited about it. And comment, like, subscribe. We're on to something new. So, peace.